Hi everyone. We're going to have a little look at samples today and sampling generally. This will be quite a short topic. It's just a little part of the course and it acts as a bit of an introduction to the statistics part of the AS course. So this second paper is made up partly of statistics and partly of mechanics, and this is going to be a little look at the start of the statistics section. So we'll have a look over sampling, what it is, and comparing that to censuses and what they are. We're looking at different sampling techniques next. So having a look at what simple random sampling is. Some of these names you may have heard before, possibly from GCSE, but we're going to have a talk about all of them. There's not really any much maths in this section. It's mainly about definitions. To be honest, there's only maybe 1 or 2 marks available in the exams for this topic, but they're very easy marks if you just learn the definitions of each of these types of sampling. So let's have a look at sampling and censuses. So the whole point of both sampling and using a census, and we'll talk about what they are in more detail in a second, is that we want to collect information about the people or the things in our population. So we might have be collecting information from people. I don't know, maybe about their items they purchase on the high street, and we do a sample of what things people buy or what they buy from a supermarket. It could be anything. We often do sampling about who people are going to vote for in elections, and we use samples to collect information about those people. But it doesn't always have to be people. We can collect information about things in a population as well. So it might be about a product and how strong it is, or maybe it's a laptop and how fast it runs. So you can collect information about objects as well as from people. Let's have a look at censuses and sampling. So a census involves surveying every single member of the population we're looking at. Let's say we were looking at the UK and who they were going to vote for in an election. That means in a census we'd have to survey every single person of voting age in the UK. Every single person, so maybe 40 million people. So you can see it's a mammoth task to do a census in many situations. The UK actually does a census every 10 years to collect information from everyone. Because it's such a big job, they can only do it every 10 years. There's some benefits to it though. You get extremely accurate results. In fact, maybe the most accurate results you could possibly have, because we have all the information available from everyone. We can collect basically perfect information. However, the downsides are it's really, really expensive to do, and it takes a huge amount of time to do. And sometimes it's impractical or even impossible. It can be impossible for numerous reasons, but often they can be because we don't know where every member of the population is. That can be both for people. It's just impossible to survey some people because we don't know where they are. It can be the same for if we were maybe doing some kind of biological survey and we were surveying some kind of insect, maybe spiders. It's just impossible to find every member of the population. It's just not physically possible to do. So censuses are often not possible. Another example where they're impossible to do is where the testing we want to do on the member of the population involves destroying it. So this can be for objects, maybe to test the strength of something. So maybe we want to test for a phone, maybe we want to test what force it needs to break the phone. Now if we do that test on every single member of the population, we have no phones left. So it's not possible to do that. We can only do that by taking a small amount of phones and testing on them. We don't want to test that on the entire population. Sampling, on the other hand, involves surveying a subset of the population. So surveying some members of the population. How many members we survey depends on what we want to sample, what we want to find out. Unfortunately, they're not as accurate. They're obviously not going to be as accurate as surveying everyone. And if we're not careful, they can be unrepresentative of the population. There's numerous ways this can happen, but if we are surveying people and maybe we survey just men or just women, we might get an answer that's unrepresentative of the population. Or if we survey just people of a certain age, we can easily get unrepresentative samples. So that means the results from our survey don't reflect the result of the entire population. They're also going to be easier and cheaper than a census to do. It's just physically much easier to actually conduct the survey, because we only have to find information from certain people or certain objects in the population, not everyone or everything.